Okay, good morning, good evening, everybody. Oh, Try to get my sound working here. We've got this race coming up here in a couple minutes between maiba and budzyRNG. Getting feedback in my headphones, so I'm just working on that. If you give me 1 second. Okay, we're going to get the audio figured out. Going on in a second here while we wait for the race to start between the two runners. Hope everybody's doing well. Got a lot of races going on today. Very jam-packed schedule for the Mario 300% tournament, so definitely going to be plenty of action to check out on all of the SpeedGaming channels going forward here. Okay, I've got the race time room pulled up, just waiting for everybody to ready up, get everything set, and we'll be off and running. I'm expecting a very good matchup today between Budsy and maiba. Budsy's a very good 100% Mario runner, always puts up very good times, and maiba is one of the most consistent Mario 3 runners in the entire world. If you have the opportunity to check out his channel and watch some of the runs he does, every movement is extremely consistent. So it should be a fun time, should be a good race. maiba's timer has started. We'll get that reset. Okay, Budsy has readied up. I'm just waiting for maiba and for the audio. And once we get the audio going, we'll be able to, well, I'll be able to figure out why I can't hear anything, but either which way. Okay, according to race time, the race is now in progress. I think we're having a sync issue right now, just with the two screens, because budzy's is still on the title screen and maiba has gone through 1-1. I don't know if he was just practicing or if we're just having a little bit of a sync issue. So we'll get this figured out. Oh, and he reset, so I think he was just practicing there. Okay, so there's currently like a 11-second difference. It looked like maiba got a head start just because I think there's a sync issue, so we'll be working through that. We'll get both streams and the audio synced up. Yeah, we're having an issue right now with the game audio. It's not recognizing either audio, so we're working on that. We'll get that going in a moment. But in the meantime, we're just gonna watch and continue along. We apologize for the technical difficulties with game audio not coming through. And then for the sync as well, because the current timer, budzy's at a minute, maiba's at a minute 14. Just looked like when they started in race time, the timer and everything started at the same time. So it's really not any discrepancy, but we'll get that looked at. There is a lot of races going on at the same time right now, so please be patient with us while we address some of the technical difficulties. Right now, both say audio unknown. So we're kind of working to address that. Okay, currently I'm still getting an audio unknown, but the test audio works, so we'll figure that out as we go along there. Maiba is sitting in the 1-4 auto scroller. budzy now is the same. We're going to take note of the times they enter certain levels, just to keep track before we get everything synced. So, like, for example, maiba just touched that end level card at 225 on his timer, and budzy's going to be grabbing the end level timer at 225, his in-game timer. So right now they're very equally matched. Yeah, Kadi, there seems to be an issue with the syncs. There's a lot of races going on at the same time right now, so we're just gonna ride it out and be patient. We're gonna do the best we can with what we've got. maiba making a very smooth run through 1-5 there. Does get tunnel. Saves himself a little time going up to the end of the level there and grabbing the card. budzy regains his P speed, jumps off the turtle, does not go for tunnel, but gets through just fine either way. Not quite end sync, different sync. As I was saying earlier, maiba happens to be one of the most consistent Mario 3 runners in the world. So his P-speed strategies and the way he runs through the levels, there are very few times you're going to see errors from maiba. And even then, it's going to be few and far between. So the key to playing a race like this is to be very, very consistent and just to try and get through the entire game without taking a death at that level of consistency. Neither one of them are having any trouble so far with World 1. maiba's into the airship. He touches that at a 401 A press. budzy's taking care of this hammer brother, and he's going to be getting over to the airship without a fire flower at a 402 A press. So he's a second behind there. He is going to lose approximately a second or two picking up fire in the airship due to the fact that when you grab the power up, there's a little bit of a lag, but Yes, there's currently 27 runners still left in the tournament from the upper brackets as well as the lower brackets. There's some matches still need to be scheduled. Ton of matches going on today. maiba is riding up at the top of the airship just for fun, as you can see walking along. budzy grabbing fire flowers, going to take the more traditional route. Have a combination of audio now. You guys are hearing it. Grabs the wand. Fire kit. Pretty hard. If anybody using maibas currently, just want to make sure that that has been addressed. I think maibas are very zero. And budzy doing the same. So it's a very low audio kind of echoey. At least we have some sort of audio. I'm going to switch to budzy. Please let me know if the audio from budzy is coming in. We do have the sync now on the timer. Very much. Like I said, there's a ton of races going on right now, so yes, it did sync up. maiba's in the lead by about a second or two. I did switch the game audio over to budzy, so if the audio... Oh, okay, no complaints. If the audio sounds clearer, then that could just be an audio feed coming through. So I think that was more from a capture card. We'll continue to switch back and forth as we go on. As long as you guys can hear. I am currently having an issue where I can't hear the game audio, but I don't need to be able to hear it. I just need to be able to see the game. Okay, maiba's going to be taking out this boom boom with fire. He's going to be grabbing the orb at 7:08. budzy also taking it out, grabbing the orb at 7:11. So a 3-second difference between these two runners right now. Hammer Brother movements and the RNG is going to play a role here in what the difference in time is. maiba opting to use a star there to destroy the boomerang a little bit early. That does save him a little bit of time versus having to wait for it to go off screen. Now, if you're very consistent with your runs the way maiba is, and you know where and how to use your stars, you don't need to use any extra stars, you can afford to use one on a Hammer Brother. budzy grabbing the shell and getting green rocket, maiba doing the same. maiba also having fought that Hammer Brother is going to show that he's a little behind, quote-unquote behind budzy, because he already had the bro battle versus budzy, who hasn't fought either one of his bros yet. Which unfortunately for budzy means there's more opportunity for both of them to run around and potentially get stuck and marathon on him. We've seen that happen to a few runners in World 2 before. Not quite as common as it is in World 4, but still a possibility. Okay, both those Hammer Brothers run to the right, running away from budzy at this point. Little duck jump over that chain chomp, picks up the P-speed, and should be able to run right through at the end of the level. maiba picking up a little bit earlier P-speed, also a nice little duck jump. He's going to get through to the end of the level, no problem. Now, budzy opted to go up to fight that first Hammer Brother. He's not using a star for this one, so he's going to wait for that boomerang to go off screen. And by waiting for the boomerang to hit a certain point before jumping over and running to the treasure chest, you could actually time it so that you could grab the chest as soon as it spawns, and it saves you a little bit of time. So higher level runners of this game know that trick, and they will make sure that they're doing their jump timing in order to save the most amount of time. Maiba decides not to spare that boomerang brother. No pacifist run here. Takes it out with fire. Budsy does the same. That one hammer brother was very cooperative for Maiba, just hanging out around the castle, not moving more than 2. Now, Budsy not opting to use a star for either one of his hammer brothers, so Maiba's going to gain, I want to say, 2 to 3 seconds. Oh, thank you, Ruddy. We'll switch back to Maiba. Everybody, please let me know if you can hear that. I'm going to rely on the chat to tell me whether or not the sound is good, because I can't hear any of the sound in Discord, so I'm just going to go off of what you all tell me. Oh, Maiba losing P-speed there. Kind of clipped that little jump and clipped into the block, so that's going to cost him, I would say, about 3 seconds at this point. However, Budsy also losing P-speed. He didn't clip the block, so he's going to be jumping into that car just a little bit after Maiba. We have a 10:30 castle press right now. I am back to Maiba's audio. 10:37, so a 7-second difference right now. Is very close through the first 2 worlds. Please let me know if Maiba's audio is coming through clearly. The dancing flower emote doesn't necessarily say whether it's clear. Meanwhile, since we're in an auto-scroller and there's nothing to do and nothing to talk about at the moment, I'm going to try and find out why I can't hear anything. I'm pretty sure that's on my end. Okay, Maiba's taking out the boss here with the fire flower kill. Absolutely no issues. Budsy's taking his opportunity. Nice little stomp. It's kind of a little more trouble with the fire kill than Maiba did, but still gets it. It's going to cost him another 2 seconds or so on Maiba there. Okay, on to World 3, everybody's favorite water world, because who doesn't love running through an entire world based on water levels? Neither one of these runners so far has made any mistakes. Maiba has been a little more consistent thus far with P-speed strategies and made up a little bit of time using the star in World 2 to get rid of that boomerang when he fought the Hammer Brother. However, that's the only difference right now, and it is about 10 seconds or so. Neither one's taken damage yet. Neither one's made a mistake yet. Maiba's got 3-2 P-speed going on here, off that cheap, off the others, and through with no issue. Budsy also going for the 3-2 P-speed. Starts it off nicely. Cheap 1, cheap 2, cheap 3, and there you go. Both runners' speed just extremely consistent thus far. Nice little hop there. Shoot the cheap because, hey, why not? Shoot the Koopa because, again, hey, why not? Oh, but Maiba loses P-speed there. This is an opportunity for Budsy in 3-3 here and make up a little bit of time back if he can keep it. The key here is to be consistent and not to take a death, and Budsy is keeping his P-speed. So let's take a look at this level card here. Maiba's grabbing it at 1356. Budsy's into the pipe, and he's going to be grabbing his level card at 1403. So Budsy's just made up 3 seconds by keeping P-speed there. And that's the tiny little difference you see in just the consistencies. There was a couple levels where Maiba had P-speed and Budsy didn't. Now he's going to fight his first Hammer Brother here. Maiba, meanwhile, is taking very easy care of that fort. Budzy's going to be trekking through there now. Hammer Brother goes down. He also makes easy work of that fort. The movements of the Hammer Brothers in this world also help determine which runner is going to come out of it ahead because of where they go. It looks like Maiba's Hammer Brother has completely Ronnied and run in the other direction. Budzy's, on the other hand, came back, so interesting to see the strategy here. Budzy's opting not to use a cloud right now to take that Hammer Brother out early. They're both going into 3-5. Both are using the P-Wing strategy. There's something to be said for potentially using the cloud there and taking care of the Hammer Brother. I think he's taking the chance that he's not going to move 2 to 3 spaces and go over a level card. It's going to save him some map movements by not having to go backwards. Oh, and Maiba's Hammer Brother came back, so that is a huge benefit to him that he came back in the right direction. Budzy's gamble paid off as his Hammer Brother moved downward and closer to him and didn't run away, so he didn't need the extra back movements from the cloud. Good P-Speed damage boost strategy there. Do that on purpose to get rid of the tail and pick up P-Speed. Just avoiding that Lakitu there. Little duck jump off the Paragoomba. Okay, so going into 3-6, we got a 15:57 8 press for Maiba. Both Hammer Brothers are done. 16:03 A press for Budzy, so still 6 seconds. And now, once again, we get to hang out in auto-scrollers, and how's everybody's day? How's the weather? Sun shining? Is it raining? Do we need some coffee? Maybe go napalm? Maybe a couple? Pet the cat, pet the dog, go for a walk. I mean, you got time to pretty much do anything. Got a blue block, we got a green block. Budzy's doing a very good job of keeping it very close so far. If his goal is within 90 seconds to 60 seconds, I mean, he's within 6 seconds at this point. He's playing a very consistent race. Both of them got P-Speed there to jump off the Koopa. See where we come out of 3-7 here now that the Hammer Brothers are taken care of. Maiba keeps his P-Speed easily, does a nice little jump there. Up and over for Budzy, keeps his P-Speed, same nice little jump there. At this point, thus far, we're completely evenly matched. The only difference has been Maiba kept P-Speed in one more level than Budzy did. He gets the Super Swim at the beginning, Budzy gets the Super Swim at the beginning. I mean, it's literally like watching in a mirror with a slight delay. And they're doing the exact same strategies, they're executing in the exact same way. I mean, this is a very crisp, clean race thus far through this point in World 3. Underneath those ghosts, and Maiba is going to take out the Hammer Brother, grab the orb. Grabs it up at the top. Budzy's going to wait and jump for it. Grabs it at the bottom. 18:16 A press into 3-8. 18:22. So still 6 seconds. Budzy takes out that boss pass pretty early on with the ice block there. He's at risk of a fanfare, as is Maiba. Turn back, no problem. Grabs a mushroom. Budzy's going to try to do the same. A fanfare would be devastating. He grabs a flower, so no issues there. Star fanfare isn't the end of the world if you're running and you're just trying to get a good time. However, in a race like this, going up against a world-class consistent runner like Maiba, a star fanfare could be one nail in a coffin. So you want to avoid that at all costs. We got 1 H jump, we've got 2 H jumps. Yeah, normally exclamation R would be how you would see the runners. I'm not 100% sure how that works. And we got a 1926 A-Press going into the castle for maiba. And true to form, we got a 1932 A-Press for Budsy. Do 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 do. All right, we see some sun is shining bright today. That's very nice. What else we got? Is it cold everywhere? Is it hot everywhere? Got to take advantage of the downtimes to have these pleasant small talk conversations. The next airship, I might go make a cup of coffee. It's actually kind of fun watching the game with no audio, because then it's just me and the voices in my head. Cloudy and cold. Well, apologize for that. Combination of hot and cold in North Carolina. Wendy's made easy work of with that strategy by maiba. Made easy work of by Budsy. Wow, these guys are making it simple. Yeah, that's true. It's only 6:30 in the morning in Seattle. 85, not bad. Not bad. Oh, thank heavens, I'm back to my old self again. Thank you so much. Here's a letter from the princess. Okay, so actually one of the most common things I see when I'm looking at YouTube videos of Mario 3 is people do ask, how is it that the princess can send these letters to Mario? Because, like, why would Bowser allows her to send letters out? And funnily enough, what's not necessarily, I guess, common knowledge for casual Mario 3 players, at least for me particular growing up too, is that Peach wasn't actually captured until World 7 at the end. If you read the letter from Bowser going into World 8, that's when he actually took her. So Mario is just going around trying to get rid of the Koopa kids, and then in the meantime, Bowser went and took her. So kind of threw me off as a kid a little bit, but that's how she was able to send the items in the letters. Bowser's not quite as dumb of a villain as we maybe originally thought he was going to be. Both these runners just made easy work of 4-1 and 4-2. Now comes everybody's favorite in World 4, coming up 4-3, although maiba's going to get a Hammer Brother first. Budsy's getting the exact same Hammer Brother movement, so that's interesting. This level happens to be one of the most satisfying levels to speed run in the entire game when you get the strategy down right, because it's so fast, there's so much movement and so many jumps involved, but it's so incredibly smooth. Off the Buzzy Beetles. Oh, maiba does an interesting take on that strategy, shooting the Spiny there. Budsy doing the same thing. Wow, very interesting, but very smooth. You see a lot of runners will just do a duck jump there and go into the upper platform. I haven't seen anybody actually do that jump and Spiny. maiba opened his menu there. I think maybe... I can't tell if he used his music box because I don't have audio, or maybe he was considering using a star. Budsy just used his star. But he gets through without taking damage and no issues at all. Budsy got held up a little bit there, so he's going to lose about 4 seconds here to maiba. We're going to time this out with 4-4. It's a 23:39 A-Press onto 4-4 for maiba. The 23:50 A-Press going into 4-4 for Budsy. He also had a Hammer Brother running around on the screen, so we'll see a little bit better when both Hammer Brothers are taken care of what the actual timed matchup is. They both got the Lakitu jumps. A little bit of super swim there. Got some extra movements there for maiba. Bud takes care of the Hammer Brother, grabs the P-Wing. Budsy got maybe 1 or 2 less movements from his Hammer Brothers. Another strategy you'll see here sometimes is that Hammer Brother being in the middle there, depending on where it goes, you might see them use a cloud, which actually Budsy you're seeing now do that to eliminate extra movements and potentially going off to the side where one of the levels would be past it. You just use the cloud, take care of the Hammer Brother, and now he's going back into 4 or 5 to take care of this level. So that little extra map movement might cost him a second, but in the long run is going to save him time versus the Hammer Brother moving around. maiba took care of 4-6 first because his Hammer Brother went up that way and moved in front of the level, so he was able to just maneuver over. Not going for P-Speed in 4-5. Kind of a sweaty strategy, if you want to call it that. Budsy, meanwhile, is making his way into 4-6. This is what's going to give us the best indicator of time right here now that the burrows are taken care of. 25-32 into the fort for maiba. Very nice P-Speed there in that fort. 10 seconds. 12 seconds. 13-second difference currently. So we went from 6 seconds to 13 seconds. The Budsy's lost 7 seconds in this world to Hammer Brother movement and to the fort. Whereas maiba managed to get through without any issues. Budsy got held up on that one block, which caused him to lose a couple seconds to maiba. Still incredibly close going into what is basically the world's slowest auto-scrolling airship, so coffee time. Everybody grab your mugs, grab your favorite creamer if you use any. You drink it black like me. Now's a good time to run outside, step on some grass. I don't do dad jokes, unfortunately, Seattle. I don't know any dad jokes. I might go outside, cut the grass, come back, and they'd still be finishing up this airship. I don't know if my do-do-dos are actually lining up with the sound of the game, but in my head I like to pretend they are. What do you get when a microscope and a telescope crash into each other? That's not a dad joke. That's a pun. Mods, please time that out. Not really. Just kidding. Alright, 2804 into the boss. Should still be 12 seconds here. maiba opting for the jump kill on the roll 4 boss here. The pattern he got may have prevented the lower fire kill. Budsy is going to end up, I think, actually he got the fire kill. It was a little weird at first the way it bounced off, but 28-27 wand grab for Budsy. I think he made up about a second or two there. We're going to see what the timer is when they get into 5-1 to determine. Well, that's true. I mean, dad jokes are, I guess, puns. Marco's dad joke there is not necessarily a pun, but that's even worse. All right, 28-52 A press into 5-1 for maiba. Seconds. 12-second difference. Budsy using his music box there. So he really didn't save much time, maybe about half a second with the fire kill versus the stomp kill for maiba just because of the way the battle went down. Does the turn back there. Both get mushrooms after grabbing the star. Interesting that for a moment in that underground portion there, the cards didn't show on my screen, nor are they showing on Budzy's. I'm not sure what causes that, but apparently going down into a pipe underground means you don't have level cards anymore. Hop, skip, and a jump. Mario's kicking his legs in midair because, hey, why not? Nice and easy into the fort. Little turn back off the platform. Budzy's going to move over here and take care of the first Hammer Brother. Just happened to be next to the pipe, so it goes over and takes care of that. There's going to be movements either way because the one in the sky is going to move no matter what. However, that being said, you can limit one of them from being moved. maiba now is on to 5-3, everybody's favorite level in the world, because who doesn't want to randomly go left for just one level in the game? There we have Karibo's shoe, which is also present for just one level in the game. But maintains his P-speed and breezes through without any sniff of an issue whatsoever. Budzy takes care of his other Hammer Brother down there. Skybro's going to run around like Skybros do. So while he's in 5-3, maiba's going to take care of these two Hammer Brothers with the Fire Flower. Builds up his P-speed there for Budzy. Okay, does a little wall pick there to maintain the P-speed. And both runners looks like going to be maintaining P-speed all the way through 5-3, so this 12-second difference should remain a 12-second difference. I would say we're looking ahead a little bit at this point because we're only through 4.5 worlds, but if we get to World 7 at a 12 to 20 second difference, the clips are going to be a huge factor in what determines this race. And again, mentioned it with the consistency, maiba being consistent, but he's also one of the most consistent clipping players that I've seen in a while, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Budzy regaining P-speed out the pipe there. Very nice. Now looking back over the beginning of this race, I can't remember the exact levels, but the two differences in the P-speed strategy so far is there was 2 levels where Budzy did not maintain P-speed versus 1 where maiba did not. And Budzy did not opt to use a star in the World 2 Hammer Brother with the boomerang to cut it off the screen and save time waiting for the treasure chest to spawn, whereas maiba did. So right now, that's what's making up this 12-second difference. Oh, Budzy took a little damage there with his Fire Flower. That's going to slow him down a little bit. We'll see whether or not he's going to pick up the leaf to go into 5-6, or if he's just going to P-speed, and he does pick up that leaf. So that's going to cost him another 4 to 5 seconds because he lost P-speed taking damage there. maiba is into the Flying Beetle auto-scroller. Bounces off that Koopa, excuse me. We'll see whether or not he decides to go for the P-switch here, as per the Louis strategy. And he does not. Stands in place while the enemy just decides to, hey, you know what, I'm just going to fly right into your foot, and that takes care of me. Having a tail in this level can be a good safety feature. Budzy does grab the P-switch block there, in the sense that you can flutter between, but you also have to be careful because if you press B to start a jump, you're going to tail swipe, and that's going to defeat the enemy you're standing on, and you're going to fall to your doom. So if you have a tail on that level, you got to be very cautious about how you approach it. Okay, both Hammer Brothers for both players moved up towards the lock from the fort there. maiba's into the lava shooting fort. Easy jumps. Despawns the dry bones at the end because he moved fast enough and didn't do any turnbacks. Okay, he's going into that Hammer Brother now and moves into a very good position right next to him. So he's able to save a little bit of time. budzy's also despawning that dry bones. I'm not going to look at the A press for 5-8 just because I don't know what the Hammer Brother for budzy's going to do just yet. And it moved up and stayed there, so maiba is going to pick up 2 extra map movements on budzy here just because of where his Hammer Brother went. We can look at the 5-9, which is 35-42 A press. So coming through, no issues with P speed. We are at 10 seconds. 15. 20. 25 seconds currently. We went from 12 to 25 just because of Hammer Brother movements and that loss of P speed in 5-3. I mean, 25 seconds is still the difference of 1 death or getting stuck in some clips. So this race has been neck and neck from the very beginning and is still neck and neck right now. Now, I don't think it was very polite of the developers to put an auto-scrolling level before an auto-scrolling castle here. Especially one with no floor, where you're just going to fall to your doom with those chain chomp fire killers. There's a lot of cannonballs on this airship. It can be quite scary, depending on the route that you're going to take. My guess would tell me that maiba is going to be taking an upper route where you can just avoid all the cannonballs altogether, not have to worry about the jank little movements and jumps to avoid them. I would imagine budzy's going to do the same. Yeah, maiba's hugging the screen there and gets onto the upper route to avoid the lower cannons. Both players picking up a fire flower they didn't need just for the fun of it. Based on the look, I don't think they needed the points to avoid a coin chip going into the next world. I don't know if you even can spawn a coin chip going in, but maiba finishing it off with the upper route. You can defeat Roy without him ever actually jumping up using the fire kill with the hundo strategy, which maiba does very well. Goes for off-screen wand grab, doesn't get the pixel. It would be crazy to see one of them get off-screen wand grab in one of these airships here. Now, Roy will jump if you're not fast enough with the fire kill, so you got to be careful about that. budzy's not even going for an off-screen wand grab. He's just going to stay and grab the wand at the bottom of the level. And we're going to be entering World 6 at a 25-second difference here. So, maiba right into 6-1. Early P-speed, turn back, lower strategy. Tiny little jump there, but makes it through. Goes over the piranha instead of underneath the block that it throws based on his running strategy. He's going to go into 6-3 first. budzy now caught up and going into 6-1. He's doing a slightly different strategy, so he's going to be jumping between, yep, rather than over. Okay, because of the Hammer Brother positioning at the bottom there, budzy's going to go down and take care of that, and he's also going to be going into 6-3. Meanwhile, maiba took care of his above, and their screens are basically exactly synced for the Hammer Brother fight, which is pretty cool. But budzy is currently sitting one level behind maiba, having gone into now 6-3, while maiba's taking care of that and is in 6-2. World 6's first auto-scroller. We're going to take advantage of this auto-scroller to pour some more water in here. Not like you can see that, so don't know why I had to tell you that, but it did. Yeah, so, how about them sport? Yeah. Football. Yeah. Baseball. There's some baseball going on, yeah. Hockey starting soon. Got that going on, yeah. Oh, look, and we're actually going to play a level now that maiba's done with the auto-scroller and going into sport. Riding up the elevator, get a damage boost over these spikes. It's a nice little running jump to get a head start. You saves a couple seconds that way over waiting for the elevator to get closer to the top. Oh, you got a little pixel there with little Mario. Recovered perfectly fine. There were no issues, but an interesting little pixel stop there that cost him some speed. Doesn't cost him the boom boom star kill, however, so it ended up being alright, but budzy jumps over the block. He didn't quite get the same jump that maiba did, so he's not going to save the time there, but let's see what happens with little Mario here. He doesn't get pixeled there. Up into the star, P-speed, and through the door. Now this is one of those strategies when you jump up with the star for the boom boom kill. If you get P-speed on the bottom and you get through the door without going past the door, you can run straight into the boom boom and have zero issues whatsoever. maiba opting to use a star here to take care of the Hammer Brother, because his little Mario doesn't want to risk a death. He knows exactly where he wants to use his stars, and does so accordingly. Now into 6-6. But you don't have to jump for safety in that fort if you get P-speed properly and you make it through the door without delay. However, if you go past the door or you have a little bit of delay, you can jump over the top of the brick to safety it and avoid taking a death just in case. So budzy here is opting to put the Hammer Brothers to sleep for now. So I think his strategy here is going to be to go to 6-6, get through this level, use the P-Wing for 6-5, and then take care of the Hammer Brothers with a leaf, rather than using the P-Wing now for 6-5, taking care of the Hammer Brothers with the leaf after that, and then going back and playing 6-6 while picking up a leaf again in 6-7. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. This is going to allow him to leaf kill both Hammer Brothers, whereas maiba used a star to take care of one of the other Hammer Brothers. He is not using the squirrel kick. He is going straight up and over for the despawn. He despawns one of the two munchers, smashes both blocks, and is on his way. Let's see which strategy budzy opts to use here. Okay, budzy is going for the squirrel kick, which is somewhat of a more consistent strategy. Also gets one muncher, so they despawn one muncher each. Nobody wins the muncher battle. Not sure why a muncher battle would even matter, but it's the little things that keep me entertained, and it's a damn job. And more auto-scrollers. Yay. Alright, so budzy takes care of that first Hammer Brother with tail. It's going to go after the second one here with the tail. All right. Both runners in an auto-scroller now, so show of hands. Put ones in the chat. Who's going to go outside and cut their grass today? And type 2 if you're going to do it right now while you're waiting for 6-7 to end. Yeah, Marco, I am looking very much forward to hockey season myself. Okay, maiba is through the auto-scroller. He's going to be moving into what is really a very fun fort to play when you have a tail. They do this little duck strategy there to maintain some P-speed so they don't have to revert backwards. But you take damage there on purpose to boost through, and then you're just running through the entirety of the rest of the level. That fort is one of the slowest moving forts in the game if you don't use that strategy because of the fact that you have to wait for the thwomps. Okay, so we're going to time the A presses here. Should be about 25 to 30 seconds still. 45-34 A press into 6-8 for maiba. Whoa. Very nice back and forth movement with that ice block there to avoid lag and maintain speed to get P speed and run through to the end of the level. Okay, 20 seconds. $30. maiba, meanwhile, is going to potentially get 296. Oh, he got a 296 for 6-9. Very nice there. Oh, and Budsy takes damage there on that muncher. He's going to lose P-speed. He's not going to get the H jump. So he's got to slow down a little bit here and just make sure he doesn't die. It's better to go slow and stay alive than to maneuver. You're going to use a P-wing coming up at 6-9 anyway, so it doesn't matter about the power-ups. It just matters about the time. So very good on Budsy there to stay calm and not to overreact. Make sure he didn't take a death. He's going to be powered up here anyway. However, now he's 2 levels behind maiba. So that one mistake cost him a little bit of time there. He's going to get about a 295 here. maiba, meanwhile, is making easy work of this fort. And a little bit of foreshadowing from what I was saying halfway through World 5 that this race is so close right now. This is going to come down in World 7 to the consistency of clips. The 7-1 clip, the 7-5 clip, and whether they choose to 7-9 clip, 7-7 clip, or if they choose to P-wing 7-9 and play 7-7 normal. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. Okay, Budsy's making his way through the fort now. No issues through the first part. And maiba clipped over to the top of the airship there, so he doesn't have to worry about any of the flamethrowers that are going on at the bottom. He's just going to hang out nice and safe at the top. He's going to chill there for a second until the level catches back up with him. Yeah, maiba does that in a lot of his runs. I've seen a few runners do that, but definitely loves to shoot the fireballs to the beat of the... Not actually a drum, but... And when you're sitting in an auto-scroller, you got to keep yourself entertained somehow, right? So he's trying to do the manipulation for the 7-1 clip there with the small movements. He's able to defeat the boss without having it move whatsoever. Budsy's going for the clip too, but not able to get it, so he's going to have to make his way through the flamethrowers there. As far as I'm aware, that clip does not gain or lose you any time versus doing the level the normal way. It just is a safe haven from having to jump through the flamethrowers with your fire flower. Now, if he got the subpixel manipulation, maiba is going to be able to get the 7-1 clip first try here. Off the pipe, and he does. And budzy's not fire killing the boss here, so that is going to be a little bit slower, about 3 seconds slower than what maiba did. Now, if he doesn't get the 7-1 clip first try, that's going to set him back even further from maiba here. So these clips are going to be huge in this world. maiba's opting to use a P-Wing here. It does save time to use the P-Wing versus using a star because you don't have to run back and forth. He's able to get through with P-Speed, no problem. Makes those pipe jumps, goes pipe to pipe. Now let's see if budzy was able to get the subpixel manipulation for 7-1 here. Off the pipe, off the pipe. Oh, but he jumped too early. Oh no. But, oh, he recovers very nicely and gets it fourth try. He jumped a little too early there, so the subpixel manipulation will work for you in order to get through on first try, but you still have to execute the jump in the right spot. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So that's a very good save there from budzy. Let's see if he's going to use the P-Wing or a star or just use his fire flower here. He's opting just to use fire. Which makes sense. You don't need to use a star if you have a fire flower. So that little backwards jumping to build P-Speed there is why the P-Wing is faster. However, if you're going to use a P-Wing later for 7-9 and you're not going to do the clips, while maiba, meanwhile, easily picked up the 7-5 clip, fast turtle shell grab, then you don't want to use the P-Wing in 7-2. Okay, maiba has no issues with 7-5 there, was able to get that clip. That's going to be another 7 to 8 seconds for budzy if he's not able to get that clip there. Again, both runners playing an extremely clean race so far, still maintaining it very close. maiba is one of the most consistent runners in the world, and budzy is right there neck and neck. And into the swimming auto-scroller, because budzy does pick up that clip first try, so that's going to keep him on pace with maiba as far as that one goes. This level's stinky, there's too many fishies. Every time I hear I will die. I do not like swimming between these eel things. They electrocute me and I die. I'm going to ignore the punish dad joke in the chat at the moment. Now, there is a couple fire flowers you can pick up in this level. The idea behind the strategy being if you don't feel you're going to get through the level maintaining your tail, it's ideal to pick up the fire flower to defeat the enemies and potentially prevent any lag spikes in the level to save time. The reason you want to keep the tail is so that you don't have to do the extra map movements and using a cloud, going to 7-6, using the P-Wing, beating that level, and then circling back to the fort. However, if you avoid the fire flower and you take damage, you're going to have to do that anyway. So that's one of those things as a runner that you have to make that decision pretty much as you're going into the level or before. How confident am I that I'm going to be able to get through this level without taking damage with the tail? Which maiba was able to do, and budzy thus far has been able to do. I'm going to stop talking now. It didn't help. Avoid it, avoid it, avoid it. Picks up the mushroom, a little bit of extra care. It was like so ridiculously right after I said it that it happened. But that, again, that's one of those things, strategically speaking, where you have to say to yourself before you enter the level, particularly in a race, do I think I'm going to get through this level without losing the tail? And if the answer is anything other than 100% yes, it makes sense to pick up that fire flower, delag the screen by beating the enemies, use your cloud, go to 7-6, use your P-Wing, and then come back. Because at the same time, now he's got to stop to use a star, which he would otherwise use anyway, but he doesn't have the tail, whereas with maiba, he didn't use the star. He was able to tail flutter through that Piranha Muncher level. So you see just the subtle differences in the strategies and what it can make. Now, he was able to go through a damage boost with the tail there. He's going to go pick up the hammer suit. While Budzy, meanwhile, uses his cloud, as we discussed the strategy would be. Going to take easy work of 7-6, just fly over the top. Don't need to bother with that 7-6 clip, you can just fly over it. Now maiba's going down to 7-9, he's skipping 7-7, so to me what that means he's doing is he must be wanting to set up the subpixel manipulation clip that comes from the fort with the hammer suit. Now he was able to get the 7-9 clip first try. The second clip, he's on third try, does get it third try, so no issues there. First try on the third. And second try on the fourth. That's a very good clip on 7-9 there. That's not going to cost him any time at all. And it goes right along with what I was mentioning earlier. maiba is one of the most consistent clipper players that I have ever seen. So we'll see what Budzy's going to... Oh! Unfortunate pipe rub there for Budzy. That is his first death of the run. So now as Little Mario, he's going to maneuver over to 7-7, and he's going to run through this level quickly. That is the first big mistake by either one of these runners thus far. It took until this long into World 7. This has been a fantastic race. maiba is doing the subpixel manipulation for 7-7 at the end of the fourth, so we'll keep an eye on that and whether or not he gets it. Budzy runs through that level with Little Mario, no problem. Easier to run through that level fast with Little Mario than it is with Big Mario. Okay, attempt number 1. Oh, he doesn't grab it and into the pipe. So maiba now is going to have to run through this level the regular way. Budzy's using his P-Wing on 7-9. He's going to try the mid-clip down at the bottom instead of the 4 clips. This strategy can be faster than clipping the bottom, depending on how consistent you are with the clips. You'll note that maiba was able to grab the pipe at 279. Budzy's keeping his tail here. I don't know if he is doing that on purpose, or it just didn't take the damage to try and get the clip. He did try to duck fly the clip, but wasn't able to get it. 279 level timer versus 262. So if you're really consistent with those 7-9 clips, it is faster. However, you're relying upon the clips themselves and the pixels. So 5745 into the airship. We've got a Piranha level and 2 levels. So maiba is at this point stretching out his lead. I think this is going to be closer to a minute and a half. Still, that being said, however, an extremely close race. Budzy's doing a phenomenal job of keeping this close with a world-class player. Or should I say Joe Thornton. If you don't believe me, pop into budzyRNG stream sometime, give him a follow, and then pull up a picture of Joe Thornton right next to it. They could be twins. Down to the beard and everything. A great P-speed there with the hammer suit for Budzy. He's going to shoot a hammer right out of the pipe there. Take care of that dry bones, maintains P-speed, and goes back. Oh, but he got stuck there. But that's okay. He's going to shoot a hammer right at the top here. Oh no, he opted not to. Okay. Maybe not comfortable with the backup strategy there. Generally speaking, with the hammer suit, if you have P-speed, you're going to fire that hammer right at the top before you jump down, because that's going to collide with the boom, boom, right at the bottom of the jump without having any issue at all. It's a faster kill, but if you're not familiar with the backup, it's smarter to just take it slow. Now, maiba, I believe, is a 57:30, 57:40 A press. So we're looking about 1 minute and 50 seconds between the two of them right now, if I'm doing my math right. I don't know, however, if math is really my strong suit. I'm just going by the numbers on screen. We'll get a better idea from the wand here. No issues whatsoever for maiba. He's going for off-screen wand grab, doesn't grab it, but he does get the wand grab in 1 hour and 1 second. Okay, so to address the question, Silence, Akali is right. Hammersuit is potentially faster if you get all the 7-9 clips. It is faster killing Bowser in the sense of it does take a couple of hits. It's slower in the sense of the amount of time it takes you to grab the Hammersuit offsets the difference of the time you save fire killing Bowser versus hammer killing Bowser, but it does come down to the clips. If you get all the clips with the Hammersuit route is going to be faster. If you don't get all the clips, using the P-Wing and then using a fire kill on Bowser can be faster. Or you could do it the chicken strat way, which is the way I like to do it, which is don't do either of those and pick up the Hammersuit in the Mushroom House in World 6 because you have skill issue and you can't take the hammer to Bowser. Now, looking at the airship here, let's bear in mind that maiba grabbed the wand at 1 hour and 1 second to be exact. budzy's at 1 hour and 1 minute and 22 seconds. His timer's off a little bit as far as the crop, but the timer itself is still fine. So we're at 1.5 minutes. Going after Ludwig. 1, 2. 1, 2. Minute and 40 seconds. Minute and 43 second difference between them right now. So what that's going to take at this point, it's going to take a very clean World 8 from budzy. It is going to take a mistake from maiba. Now, whether that mistake is a death at the end of one of the levels, a death at the end of one of the auto-scrollers, or, quite frankly, if he makes it all the way to Bowser and has an issue in the throne room and dies in the throne room, loses his Hammersuit, no longer has the ability to get a Fire Flower, and has to play Bowser's Castle again, that would make up about 1.5 minutes for budzy potentially as well. Just because having to slow wait out the Bowser kill is a pretty good chunk of chimes. So we're going to see how this plays out here. In the meantime, they're still extremely close. We're still stuck on auto-scrollers. So we're going to give you a moment or two where you don't have to listen to me speaking. Yes, so version 2 Productions is correct. The ideal time to equip it, based on your the real answer is based on your comfortability level. So if your issue is getting it to World 8, but you're comfortable using it in all of the levels in World 8, you can go ahead and equip it at the beginning of World 8. But most players who are using the chicken strat, as I like to call it, like myself, they're going to be equipping it at the beginning of Bowser's Castle, and then also equipping a star if you want to run straight through or you're not comfortable with jumping up on the statues. There's actually not a whole ton of areas in Bowser's Castle where you're going to worry too much about taking damage. It's pretty much just comes down to those disco waffles. Disco fries. Belgian waffles. Belgian waffle with 2 eggs over easy, some strips of bacon and disco fries would hit so nice right about now. Anyway, lost my train of thought. maiba's through hand number 1. Manually enters hand number 2, so it doesn't have to get the little animation. Was going for that P-speed in hand 2, but didn't get it, just jumps through normally. And does get pulled into hand number 3. Very smooth looking jumps on that level there from maiba. Opts to go off the block and over versus cutting it short, ducking underneath and maneuvering from there. Faster to go over than to get slowed down going underneath, but it is all down to preference. This is the speed that all of the auto-scrollers in this game should have gone at. It should just be fast. None of that crazy underwater moving slow stuff. Yeah, you could equip it before the Navy in World 8. Because you could fire kill Ludwig, you could fire kill the budzyRNG brother to try and get Rangless. I mean, I would say at that point, if you have the Fire Flower still, I would not equip the Hammer Suit until you lose the Fire Flower, because you can just fire kill the Boom Booms as well. And that gives you that extra layer of protection, although maiba easily hammer killing that Boom Boom there. Budzy's not getting pulled in by hand number 2 either, so both runners get through hand number 2 without being pulled in. No star going into 8-1 for maiba. He's just going to use the hammers. It's just, he breezes through as if the game's putting up 0 resistance at all. The Famicom and the disc are completely at his mercy. Budzy uses the lower route, gets underneath with the duck, maintains his speed. So that's what I was saying a minute ago with that level. It's really all based down on preference. I do believe it's a little faster to take the upper route than to duck, even if you maintain P-speed. But it's all based on your comfortability. Shoots the sun off the left side of the screen. He comes back off the right side of the screen due to a crazy little glitch that happens there. But always interesting to see how that plays out. Excuse me. maiba's going to get out of this fort here at about a 108 and change. He opts to use a star in the beginning. And I do believe maiba right now is pacing a 110x. I do believe, should nothing go wrong, he's going to finish with a 110 and change. Enters the door quickly enough. You can actually enter these doors on the first possible pixel if you hold the up button while touching the door. The P-switch doors in this game can be entered without having to press up when you get to them. You can just hold up as you arrive at them. It doesn't work with the regular doors, but it does work with the P-switch doors. It also happens to work with the door at the end after defeating Bowser, which essentially It essentially functions as a P-switch door. Okay, Budzy into 8-1 here. Maintains P-speed. Up and over, up and over. I mean, at this point, both runners, Famicoms, and cartridges are at their mercy. This is just one race. It's not a best of 3. I might be mistaken. I believe the finals might be best of 3. I think that the tournament finals would be best 2 out of 3, with the upper bracket runner only needing to win 1 and the lower bracket runner needing to win 2. But you'd have to consult with the Haxer on that. I'm not 100% sure. Unlike a good announcer, I did not do the research on that beforehand. Oh, Alice says semis and finals. Gungeon says that's how it'll go. So I would imagine the semifinals would just be best 2 out of 3, but I do think the finals, the lower bracket runner has to win 2, and the upper bracket runner is given a win. The same way the randomizer finals win. So maiba's in here. He's not going for elevator clip. He's just going to take the elevator up to the top. Spares the hot foot. He didn't blast it with the hammer. Interesting. A little bit of pacifism there from maiba at the end. budzy's making his way into the super tank. Nice throne room P-speed from maiba and through. So that, unfortunately for budzy, is going to end this run. Had maiba fallen into the lava there, he may have been able to hammer kill Bowser and come back. But maiba with a very solid 110 and change. Get your GGs out for maiba. Very good race. Extremely well executed. Extremely clean. Just phenomenal. budzy is looking like he's pacing a 111x. We'll see where he finishes. He kept this race extremely close the entire time. You really can't be upset with an effort like this. He only had one death. He maintained P-speed strategies. And when you can finish within 90 seconds of a world-class runner like maiba, that's always something to be proud of. So congratulations on the win to maiba with a 110-14.64, who I believe is going to be going up against Alice HK8 in the next round, if I'm not mistaken. There I've been mistaken about many things before. budzy also not going for elevator clip. He's just going to run up and play this level the normal way. Also, pacifist against the hotfoot. Nobody's killing the irritating hotfoots. Nice and easy, up and over, builds P-speed, and maintains it. So he's going to have P-speed for the throne room here. Into Bowser. This might leak just into the 112 range. We'll see where it comes out, but get the GGs out for budzy. Phenomenal run. Everybody congratulate both maiba and Joe Thornton on a wonderful race. This is going to definitely be less than 2 minutes here. Oh, he still gets the 111, so I wasn't wrong on that. So we're going to mark him as done. 111.59.34 for budzy, 110.14.64 for maiba. Less than a 2 minute difference between them. Phenomenal race, neck and neck the whole way. A little bit of separation in World 7, but other than that, very close the entire way through. So I think we're going to be joined here in a moment by at least one runner. I'm not sure if maiba is going to be hopping on. They both got the invite, so we'll see how that goes. I'm ready to get my cheeks clapped and barbecued. Well, that's the way to be confident. Okay, so we do have budzy joining. However, I still don't have sound, so I cannot hear what is being said.
Hello.
So unfortunately, I'm having issues with that. So budzy, I'm going to just stop talking and let you have a few minutes to say a few words, because unfortunately I can't hear what you're saying. So the floor is yours.
Well, is anybody surprised by this? So, I don't know how I squeaked out a 111 with a death in 7-8, but I basically knew then it was over. And I looked at the final time, I'm like, oh my goodness. But you know what? It could have been worse. So, we did alright today. We still got squeaked out a 111 with a lot of mistakes. And of course, maiba is a world record caliber, world-class player, so I felt cool to play alongside him. So good luck to maiba. Gets to race Alice next, so good luck, Alice. And Looks like I'll see Flyer in the lower bracket, but that's pretty much all I have to say. So, but thanks everybody for the GGs. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we just gotta clean up some stuff. So the 2-4 missed jump was my fault. Half and half 4F1, and of course World 6 I lost a lot of time. World 5 was just, everybody knows how much I love World 5. So, but with that in mind, I appreciate everybody. Thank you, and I guess I will see High Flyer in the lower bracket. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. So, very much look forward to racing High Flyer. And good luck to Alice and maiba in the next round, in round 4 in the upper bracket. And watch all the races today, all the way till 1 p.m. Eastern. So, plenty of action to go. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to bow out. And I'll be calming the spicy Sky Overlord match at 1 p.m. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate you. And I'm on out. Take care, everybody. GG maiba. GG maiba for the GG maiba on the win today.
Thank you, Budsy. And somehow or other, I just now at the very last second figured out why I couldn't hear. So good going to me for being dumb enough not to figure that out until the very end. So signing off on behalf of maiba, budzyRNG, aka Joe Thornton, and SpeedGaming, this is Grumpy Tag Golf. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. And hopefully everybody has a good day. maiba will see you in the next round against Alice. And Budsy, we'll see you in your next round in the lower bracket. So good luck to everybody with the races for the rest of the day. And have a good night. /morning.